Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be about dance competition confidence. Let's talk about jitters and those butterflies that we get in our stomach before we go on stage. Now, those butterflies can be an abundance of thoughts that can be running through your head. Doubt, or you don't want to disappoint yourself, your teammates, your dance teacher, or maybe you just learned choreography last week and you're not sure if you're going to remember it. Maybe the stage is slippery. It happens. We've all been there. And there's always that what if because you care. And remember that you've trained for months for this opportunity, for this chance to showcase what you've been working on, and you want to get rewarded for it because that's why we go to competition. We want to see what judges thought of our performance and are we going to win? Also, just a side note, winning is not everything. Obviously, we would like to get a high score competition, but it is also a learning experience. So if you are new to competition, or maybe it's your first year, then you have the opportunity to perform several times a year and have an awesome time with your friends. So it's not always about winning, but for those who are in the advanced category that maybe have been competing for over a couple of years, then maybe that is a goal to achieve. Going back to group routines, you want to make sure that one, you are prepared for that competition, and two, you are organized. Preparation comes with your dance technique, practicing at home if you have the space, or stretching, and taking your classes seriously. If your teacher is instructing you to hold a split for 20 seconds, then you should be. If you are going in your split and maybe you're talking to your friend or giving up, then maybe you should really think about working on that split and giving it some more dedication so you can advance your flexibility. Being organized is extremely important because you have probably more than one costume that you have to travel with to competition. And that costume is definitely not just going to be a dress. That dress is going to have shoes, it's going to have maybe tights, it's going to have accessories such as hair pieces, maybe you need bobby pins if you have a bun, maybe you need specific makeup, a specific color of lipstick. There's so many factors that come into packing for competition, and if you don't have a checklist and if you did not pack the night before and triple check in the morning, then that can also be something that can potentially stress you out the day of competition and impact you in a negative way. Let's talk about solos. So solos is probably the biggest thing that can make a dancer extremely nervous before going on stage. I'm losing my pillow. Why are solos so scary? First of all, solos are awesome because you get to showcase yourself. Now let's go into advanced solos. If you have been competing for several years and you take multiple technique classes a week, chances are your technique is pretty solid. Now, why are you still getting in your head? Is it because maybe you can't emotionally connect to the music given to you? And if you cannot connect to that song, maybe speak with your instructor. And if your instructor feels that that's the song for you, then maybe it's because they know what's best for you. And you have to really dig deep, listen to the lyrics, listen to that piece of music, and find a personal event that you've had in your life that you can translate into that movement. So if it's a sassy jazz and maybe you're more of a quiet person, think of something that excites you. Think of maybe something that you love to do and how it makes you feel. Use that excitement into that performance. And the same thing for maybe a more serious contemporary lyrical. If it is a piece of music that has lyrics that are sad, think about something that makes you sad or has made you emotional. And you project that message and that character to the audience and make them feel a certain way. The best thing about performing and giving that character or portraying that mood is to move the audience and to make them feel what you're feeling. And when you're able to have your audience and the judges emotionally connect with your routine, that just takes you to a whole other level. And that will help you with your confidence. A lot of dancers, they say, I want to go on stage and I want to make sure I nail every single technical step. Yes, that is absolutely important because your technique is important, you train for it, and you are scored on your technical ability. So of course the dancer with the highest technique is going to score higher. But what happens when you have two dancers that are very technical? What do? A judge is always going to remember the dancer who moved them with a personal connection than the other dancer who was absolutely amazing and beautiful, but maybe they just didn't stick to them. Maybe the piece with the emotional connection and the entertainment stood out a little bit more and was memorable than to the other one that was just straight tricks, and no message to it. When your mind is so set on the excitement of telling a story and performing, those nerves translate into positivity. Even if a stage is very slippery, or even if your music stops, when you're so into your routine, you make it work. And that's a fact. I have been on stages where they were slippery, I've had my music stop on me, and what do? I keep going. Things happen, unfortunately, but that's life. And the thing about dance competition is it's character building. You're learning how to organize yourself. You are constantly being motivated, and you have to also be self-motivated. You're constantly self-assessing. You are watching yourself in a mirror, maybe 2 to 3 hours out of the day, always looking to see what can be better, because dance is a visual art. We are using our bodies are instruments, and it is our job to make sure that we are fueling it with the correct foods. We're constantly staying hydrated, but at the end of the day, the most important thing that is going to get us to that success at competition is your mind. Let's talk about the mind, because everything goes back to the mind. You have to go there knowing that you did the work, you are organized, you are prepared, you're going to competition ready and not rolling out of bed, right? We always want to make sure that our hair and makeup, and sometimes you can go with your costume on depending on the routine. You're feeling good. The most important thing is that you know you did your best. And I know it sounds cliche, but that's the trick to competition confidence. There's no secret. It's a matter of just doing the work. And when you know that you trained and you're strong and you're flexible and you've done that routine many times where you know you're not going to forget it because it's already in your body. And if you practice memory every single day, you will not forget your routine. You just have to stay focused. Another thing I do want to add is, of course, we are human and we are not perfect. And of course, there can be hiccups with memory, but you want to eliminate the what if I forget. The word what if should no longer be in your vocabulary as a dancer. Because if you say to yourself, what if, you're already letting yourself fail and you didn't even go on stage yet. So eliminate that, because you will do good. Because what about the thousands and thousands of rehearsals that you had throughout the year where you never forgot that routine? When you're thinking good things and when you're thinking that you're gonna do great, there will be absolutely no distractions. And there is nothing more rewarding than when you get off that stage and you say to yourself, I did the best that I can and I feel good about it. Last topic I want to go into is comparing yourself to other dancers, especially your peers. So in competition, usually if you're in a solo category, I'm mostly targeting towards solos, by the way, you would probably be going against your friend in your dance studio, along with other dance studios as well, and that's totally fine. It's all a learning experience, and when you know that you're there to support each other and keep each other uplifted, that's healthy competition, because you want to have that in an environment. If you feel no motivation and you feel like you're plateauing and there's nothing that's inspiring you, then maybe you should think about other ways to keep yourself motivated. And that's talking to your dance teacher and seeing what you can improve on and what are more challenging progressions you can do to advance your solos and your technique. My last thing I'm going to point out is love. So what do I mean by that? We compete because I'm assuming we love dance, and we wouldn't be clicking on this video right now if we didn't love what we did. You have to remember that. Nobody's forcing you to be at dance competition. All those hours and time that you put in training, along with balancing schoolwork and going to school and family time and friends and homework and projects, the whole nine. If you didn't love dance and you didn't want to either make this a career or something that you just like to do after school to see your friends, you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be at dance competition. So keep that in mind. You're there because you love it. And no matter what happens and no matter how the day may go at competition, just remember you can only control so much. If you are prepared with your technique, if you are organized with your costumes and accessories, and if you are thinking positive and spreading that through your team and just overall the whole competition, be friendly, be positive. It is contagious. And I guarantee you, if you go up to a dancer at another studio and you tell her she did an amazing job and you meant it, and you're just showing your kindness, that will come back to you, because kindness is contagious. And remember that whatever you think about, you become. And I am a firm believer of that. So the next time you take your dance class and you're preparing for competition, just remember positive thoughts, putting in the work, owning it, and giving yourself that recognition that you are good enough and you are great. Your performances are going to be that much better. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope that this helps you do better for your competition season.